Job Search Accelerator Summer Campers. I'm Anna Morgan, your career BFF and Job Search Accelerator coach. Tonight, we are wrapping up the Summer Camp Live series, and I couldn't be more excited to welcome my dear friend, Jessica Williams. She and I met about a year ago through Instagram. We have supported each other through our entrepreneurship journeys and co-coached on Wednesday nights on Clubhouse with the Job Search Angels. She is one of the OG Angels, and I am super excited to welcome her. So say hello to Jessica in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from. So Jessica has the best, what I call Jessica-isms. She is not afraid to tell you like it is. Her headline says, walk in power, speak with kindness, listen with purpose. She empowers mid to executive level professionals to snatch a seat at the table or break the table. So she's going to break down building your resume just like you would build a campfire. So put your burning questions in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and welcome my BFF Jessica to the live. Welcome.
Hey,
right.
Job.
Hey.
What is it? Job campers. Summer campers. Hey, summer campers. I almost called them job snatchers.
Well, they're job snatchers too.
That's right. I am so excited. That was an amazing intro, Anna. I am so excited for your Job Search Accelerator program. I'm really going to encourage people to sign up, go register.
Yes.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Basically 1 day left to register. Yep. You can also join tomorrow at 11 o'clock for the 5 direct messages on LinkedIn that will get recruiter responses. And you all know that I've been a recruiter for 15 plus years. So I have received a DM or two from job seekers, and I'm going to give you the behind the scenes on what it takes to get recruiters like me to respond to you, to say yes to you, to remember you, and help you network within organizations. So that's going to be an amazing session. So let's see who we have tuning in. We got DJ in the house. I love it. Adiana. Whoop, whoop. Yes, Stephanie Steves. Yay. Thank you for tuning in. So like we said, we're going to talk about building resumes. And you know, Jessica, I would love to hear a little bit more about your journey as to how you got into being a job snatching coach and how you niched down to resumes, how, you know, you came through your career journey to realize that this was a superpower of yours and how you're leveling up job seekers right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, if I was not dang good at resume writing, I would not do it. It is very tedious. It is extremely stressful, and it takes a lot to sprinkle magic from another person's eyes. You're conveying a message seen through someone else. So with that being said, I've always been able to get a job.
Yes.
So to be able to do that, you have to write a kick butt resume. So what I learned is I learned how to pick up keywords. I learned how to read a job description ridiculously well, pick up the verbiage that a company was looking for, implement it into my resume, and then you let the magic happen.
Exactly. Exactly. So we got Julie turning in from Minneapolis. We have Joy is from Northern Virginia. Whoop, whoop. Joy, we have Kimberly from my hometown, ATL. Let's go. Yeah, Jessica, when are you coming to Atlanta? Let's go. Dan wants to know.
It is time.
It is time. Well, I'm coming out there in August. I got to book my trip and figure that out. So
maybe I'll come out in September.
Yes. I really want to plan like a road trip and just like map out all the super cool, awesome people I've met on LinkedIn and just hit all the cities. I think that would be amazing.
That would be so dope. And eat amazing food.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So you got into resume writing, 1, from your own success, 2, you're a strong writer, 3, you know how to read through the lines of a job description. And I can tell you as a recruiter, so many organizations that I've worked with through my career, their talent teams are like, we really got to work on our job descriptions. And I'm really excited to see how the market is shifting with companies crafting those job descriptions to make it easier for candidates and talent to highlight their super strengths and customize the resume, but not too much, but just enough to show that impact, that value, and that transformation. So I always like to think about,
because
for me,
it makes a difference.
Yeah. Having eyeballs on probably a million resumes over my career, I have considered myself more of the Chip and Joanna Gaines of resumes. I'm a fixer-upper versus someone that likes to start from a blank slate, because I think that's super overwhelming for job seekers, and to have people like you that can pull out those gems and organize it and put it in a succinct way is so powerful. So Jessica and I are not campers. So if anyone's in the audience that is a camper or a Boy Scout or an Eagle Scout, and you can tell us the steps in building a campfire, right? I'm just going based on my experience watching movies, right? So you have to have some fluff and some smaller twigs that, you can strike the match and kind of get things going. And then you have to put some medium size sticks. And then once it ignites, right, and gets going and burning, then you put on the bigger logs into the fire to keep it burning throughout the night, right?
Right, exactly. And that's exactly what you do with resumes. It's piece by piece, building a big, beautiful, ignited fire that you can convey that message. I can't see what Dan said.
He said, do the Mormons know they stole her hat? Dan, those
J-Lo hat, you better leave me alone.
Yeah, Dan, you better watch out. I'll put that picture up of you in your fedoras.
But realistically, it is like building a campfire. You're putting pieces together to build your story, to convey your message, and to drop your gems. And now once everything is added from top to bottom, your career authentic summary, your leadership snapshot or industry assets, your career experience, down to your education. Those are your layers.
Yes, absolutely. Stephanie said, Camper Dan is causing trouble. We always have one camper like that.
It's always one, and it's usually Dan. He is the troublemaker.
Dan's being saucy. He's mad at me for posting the video of his session. I thought it was okay since we shared it last night live. So, anywho, thank you.
It was amazing. That was a great story for a lot of us to catch on to, because a lot of us are in the same boat. A lot of us struggle with that. So I thought it was beautiful.
Asking for help is so powerful, and right. And that's, part of being a job seeker as you're building your personal brand and networking here on LinkedIn. It's so important to have that brand nailed and have those assets, right? Everything organized so there is that continuity between what people see on LinkedIn and what they see on the resume. So you have some amazing templates that you use with your clients, and I've used one of your templates for my clients. I think I even refreshed Dan's resume with one of your templates.
Which is amazing, but that's what it's for. There's so much power in sharing information. And then when I get clients started, and it is so important for our people to have a value chart. The first thing you want to do is create a value chart. You want to make sure you know what you're going to put on your resume. So from achievements to power punches, impacts. I tell people to pull out a piece of paper, grab your favorite pen, and create a value chart. You break a piece of paper into 4 parts. Your value, impact, your valuables, your impacts, your power punches, and then your high power percentages or numbers.
Right. Yes,
What we end up,
because
go ahead. Oh, okay. What you end up forgetting is you may have done so many amazing things, but we don't keep track. It feels so normal to us. So before you forget everything, write out a value chart. And that's something that you can keep
Totally.
in your professional portfolio on your desktop, in your email, and continue to add to it, because you do so much stuff. I can't tell you what I did last week, but I know I learned some new stuff. So unless I write it down and save it, I'll never remember it when I need it.
Yes, yes. And I think also I always like remind people, especially those that are employed right now, to make sure that they're tracking those assets like monthly or even weekly. At the end of your week, look at your calendar, look at the meetings that you've held, the projects that you've completed, and really document those things out. One, it's going to help you with your performance review. Two, these are the tangible stories that you can elevate your brand on LinkedIn with. You can also share content on, and you can incorporate these things in building your resume, right? So
Absolutely.
it's so overwhelming to think, oh my God, I have to look for a job. And so it's just the same principle of don't just come to LinkedIn when you're laid off or decide to make a career change. Stay here all the time, keep engaging, keep networking, and tracking.
Well, you need to stay
success.
ready so you don't have to get ready. You need to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. There are
exactly.
so
and
many
I
different
think
ways to do that.
COVID has taught us that, it is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the rug's going to get pulled underneath us.
Right.
And I hate that, but it's a fact. It happened to me. It's happened to Dan. It's happened to June, tons of people that we know.
Yeah.
And it was a big wake-up call. Like, I know as someone who works in corporate part-time that I'm tracking these things now, because if, at some point I have to look again, at least I have these metrics, these gems, these qualifying numbers that I can say I filled X number of positions during Q2 on a part-time basis, right? Because those stories matter. Going back to your authentic career summary, because I think an authentic career summary really ties into that like 1 minute pitch or that tagline, right? What are some of your insights to help kind of get the wheels turning on what to include there?
So definitely, I want job seekers to think about including their impacts. So when you're writing this authentic career summary, you want to make sure that it's 3 to 4 lines of power punches. Let me know what you're going to do with this company in this role, how you're going to shake things up. Don't let me know what you might do and what you could be good at. Let me know how you're going to shake ish up. Let me know if you're great at change management. Say that. I come in to catapult, whatever. Catapult's one of my favorite resume words.
Catapult is a good word.
But that summary is going to make a recruiter or hiring manager read past that 1/3 of your resume. That 1/3 is your meat and potatoes. If I don't like what you said, I'm not going to keep reading.
Right. And I mean, there's all kinds of statistics out there, right? You have a certain number of seconds to grab the reader's attention to keep us reading. And those first couple of lines really matter. It's an invitation. It's that hook, right? To be like,
oh, it's your hook.
And it has to be
a little bit.
Yeah. Like, and come out of the gates with like some big stuff, right? That goes, wow,
If you're high performance, a lot of people that I've worked with have generated millions of dollars, put that in your summary. I want to know that you're coming up with the heavy figures.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And will you let Dan know I'm going to beat him down? Tell him.
She has a personal driver. I mean, what can we say? So I love that. And get out of here, Dan. He must be having a little vino tonight. Well, it's not even night for you guys yet.
No,
well, it's Saturday.
Yet. But that is a really good point, Anna.
Thank you. So the other thing about like building your resume is also number of years of experience. So I would love your take on what matters and how far back do you go?
Yes. So I think for my high level professionals, it's definitely okay to mark 15 plus years. We're going to see that anyway in your career experience, right? For my entry level folks, don't focus on numbers. Focus on your power. Do not focus on how many years you've been in the game, because that may not be your leveraging point. Focus on your superpower. You may be able to come in and build morale. You may be able to come in and shift the culture of a company. Lead with that. Lead with that power. Don't lead with numbers if your entry, meaning 0 to 5 years. That's in my mind. But everybody else, those of us who are a little older with a little more season to our careers, definitely. But if you've been in the game 30 plus years, don't put that. You can leave it at 15 plus.
You know, it's funny you say that. Yeah. I mean, I refreshed my about section a couple months ago, and, you know, really focusing on my recruiter knowledge, because I feel that's a differentiator in my space, right?
That's your bread and butter.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, I was looking back at my own resume and I was like, oh my God, I've been doing this like 20 years. But to your point, I was like 15 plus, 12 plus years.
And once you put that plus, we know, like, so it's not as shocking. That plus just helps. But when you see 30 plus years, you could put yourself in a pickle. You could put yourself into a position of age bias. So of course we want to avoid that at all costs, but don't be afraid to add numbers of experience into your summary. But again, there are boundaries. 0 to 5. We're not tripping about that. If you've been in this game a while and you know you've been around the sun a couple times, 15 plus is your max. 15 plus, don't touch it. Leave it at 15 plus.
15 plus. Everybody got it? 15 plus.
15 plus.
The other thing that I see in my active recruiting job is when I look at a resume and they just have the company listed and then their title and then the summary and the bullet points, I really like to see a little summary under the company, because I'm looking to connect the dots. Has this candidate worked in relevant industries that I'm recruiting for? Absolutely. Because people think that people are going to know about all these brands, unless they're brands like Delta or Coca-Cola or something like Microsoft. That. Right. It is important to really just do that summary to make it easy for the recruiter to understand, because I find myself having to interrupt candidates when they start interviewing and say, I'm so sorry, what kind of company is this? Like, what do they do?
Right. So when you do that, I think that is huge. When you give that little brief synopsis, make sure you're not just saying what the company does, though. What did you do with the company? So if it's an engineering company, what did you do? What did you build? What projects did you insert? Just give us 2 lines, and then you can follow with your power punches and the bullet points. But Anna, you are so right, because we don't know. I don't know what some of these places do, but then I also don't know what you did in that role with that company. So combine the 2.
Exactly. And I mean, a lot of times I'll just, you know, grab a little bit of the text from the Google summary, right? That gives a brief descriptor of the type of industry and organization, because again, recruiters are looking for, has this person worked for a similar sized company, right? Stephanie said 15 plus is a magic number of experience. Don't go over that.
You said it.
Stephanie is probably close to being in that boat with us, I think, as well.
And that's okay. And it's just, we have to be aware of that, because we can, look at that light, but we can put ourselves in a pickle if we put too many years, because we can definitely get our resumes tossed out quick, fast, and in a hurry, because then they think we can't come in and be innovative. And that's what people are looking for now.
Exactly. And John says in his resume, he places the industry on the same line as the company name. And I think that's totally fine as well, because again, you know, we're looking to make those connections. The other thing that I see quite a bit is the education piece, right? So if you're less than, 5 years out of college, I would probably recommend that your education be at the higher top half of your resume, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then if you have, older experience, then put that at the bottom of the resume, and you do not have to put your graduation date. Do you agree on that?
Don't you put that graduation date. Look at me. Don't you put that graduation date. Because
Jessica's going to come after you.
You're putting yourself in a pickle again, especially if you haven't graduated in the last 5 years. I don't care that you graduated in 1997.
Right.
I know that your education is there and that's great and you've learned so much, but you don't have to do it. And that also brings a point to high schoolers. So if you've only graduated from high school, that's fine. You actually don't have to put it on your resume.
Right.
It's not a necessity unless you're fresh out of high school.
I mean, I think that would be super entry level, right? So if you were, getting a retail job or a grocery job, something like that, that might make sense to. Yeah, I see high schools on profiles all the time. Yeah,
take it off. Take it off. Lead with your certifications. Lead with your trainings. Some of us may not. I don't have a college degree, but I've done a lot of trainings. I've done a lot of different professional development things that I put in place of that. So don't be ashamed to do that.
Exactly. And I think, the market is shifting so much right now around education that, companies are not as picky about education as they used to be. I mean, you have, C-suite leaders that are running profitable companies that don't have degrees. And, I know as a recruiter,
learn along the way.
Yeah. And as we have so many baby boomers and traditionalists exiting the workforce, and there's not enough Xers and millennials and Gen Zs to backfill these positions, organizations have to be more flexible with their requirements. And, just screening people out because they don't have a bachelor's, in my opinion, is not a way to attract top talent, because
you're going to miss out on a lot of gems.
Yeah, and they're learning and leveling up in so many different ways now, to your point, from certifications to other coaching programs to LinkedIn Learning. So it is an interesting place. I have a lot of people that ask me, well, I did 1.5 years of community college. Should I put, certain courses were created, or just leave it off?
Leave it off, because now you're showing me you didn't complete it. Then that's going against you. That's going against your favor. So just leave it off. Unless you completed it or in progress, there's no reason for you to add it.
Exactly. And again, kind of going back to my day in the life of a recruiter, when I get to that section and I see something like that, it ends up being this kind of like awkward conversation, because I don't want to make someone feel bad for not completing their degree, but I'm also looking to trying to verify kind of what's on the resume. And it's always this kind of just weird vibe. And of course, I try to keep it high energy and positive, but it's tricky. So don't put it on there.
Recruiters are like you, and they can put you on ice. They can put you on ice, because now I'm looking at a couple of things. I'm looking at the fact that you didn't complete it. Does that mean that you're not completing other tasks? Can you not complete something?
That's a great point. So Stephanie says, what about when it's asked on an online application and a date is mandatory for education?
Oh, girl, if they ask for it, give it to them. But if they're not asking for it, don't give out any additional information that they do not need, unless it's required.
Exactly. I mean, that's the difference between the resume, which is your marketing document, your candidate product card, if you will, and an application, right? The application has to have the exact dates. And if they do have a required field, you're going to have to go through it. But
and your resume is your brief snap. Like, this is my intro to you next to your cover letter, right? This is my opportunity to figure out, who the hell are you? So you're giving me your tidbits that make me want to say, oh, I want to talk to him or her.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's
So,
important.
I had another question about that in regards to the, so I was thinking about something with the profile and
Hmm.
education. But again, like putting that personal development, the courses that you have completed, those are also great things to talk about if you have been unemployed or out of work for a
Yes.
while. And those can really elevate confidence in your phone screens and virtual interviews and
Can
things like that. So,
I throw in a bonus touch? So now you guys know that we've done we've done 15 months in this pandemic. I
yes.
encourage you to create a pandemic snapshot. This will
Mm.
let people know what you've been doing. Did you pick up a new hobby? Some people are teaching themselves how to code. I've met a lot of professionals who are building their professional portfolio and taking courses. You may be teaching yourself how to do different engineering techniques. Show
I
that
love
in
that.
your pandemic snapshot. Yeah, because we're not just sitting at home. Some of us have read 1,000 books in 15 months. That's still an
Yes,
accomplishment. You've increased your vocabulary. Some of us have been doing virtual learning. You have figured out
exactly.
how to do technology in a new space. You better talk about
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. And I love LinkedIn just added that new feature for stay-at-home
Stay
mom and
home
dads.
moms.
Yeah,
Yes, mom and
that's
dads.
awesome.
Absolutely. Because being a
John,
stay at home parent, oops, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was saying, like, being a stay at home parent is a job in itself. Not only
Yeah, I mean,
are you
that's
doing
project
damage
management.
control, right? You're doing damage control. You are the
I
cook. You
mean,
have chefed it up. And now you do
cleaning,
electricity.
virtual
Like,
learning. I mean, that's a serious, serious job. I love helping people with that part of their resume because I can have
yes,
so much fun with it.
so much
So,
fun.
exactly. So John says, do you think listing a college degree or certification as in process is appropriate on a resume?
For
For
example,
example, certification of APICS, CSPC in process, estimated completion December 2020. So
yeah,
I
if you're
think,
in the process, I say go for it. But
mhm,
if you're not thinking about completing it, absolutely not. But if you're in the process and you're taking the courses, please list it.
mm, a
Yes, I
thousand
agree.
percent. Stephanie says, stay-at-home parent in a pandemic is next level. Stephanie is like a VP of
Oh
marketing
yeah.
with three like little ones under the age of 6. So she's got her hands full. If
Oh,
I
you
got
go,
that totally
Stephanie.
wrong, Stephanie, I'm sorry. Going
Your
off of
pandemic
memory.
snapshot is gonna be fire.
Exactly. Exactly. So I also think, I have given feedback on resumes where there's just so much text, right? And it's just
Yeah.
visually heavy on our brains. So, what are some of your best practices around organizing the content in the resume?
Oh,
Um, and that kind of
this is
stuff.
my
I
fun
You
part.
strike me as like a little less is more type of resume writer.
I am. I do believe in less is more, but I also believe in giving subsections so people's eyes.
Oh, she froze. So basically, you just don't want your resume to be like word vomit. I didn't hear anything you
Am I
said.
back?
You're back.
Am I back? Okay. So I was saying that I want it to be straightforward and direct, but also give subsections so your eyes can stop in the various areas that you want a recruiter or hiring manager to stop. So when I say
Okay.
subsections, I will say your summary and industry assets, leadership snapshot or pandemic snapshot, your career and your education. Bow. I don't need nothing
Bam.
else. Nothing.
Fire. You're going to
Bow.
be
There's your
lighting it
spark.
up.
There's your spark, right? You keep it simple.
Exactly.
You keep it sweet, short, and simple, just like me. Short,
There
sweet,
you
and
go.
simple.
There you go. Okay. Last question. When is it
Yeah.
appropriate to put your headshot on your resume?
Never. You better never put a headshot on your resume.
Oh, so
I will drop kick it off.
there's one of the Jessica isms. I think it's this way. She will drop kick it off the resume.
Yes.
I love
Don't
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And be kind to yourself on your resume. Don't be afraid to brag because you've earned every right to do so.
That's right. But put that totally awesome photo on your LinkedIn profile because we're going to go look anyway. So it is, but you need that space on your resume for
you need that real estate. You definitely need that real estate to brag, boast about your accomplishments and who you are.
Exactly. And if you haven't gotten your headshot done in 3 years or less, it's time. And if you can't afford it, we got fancy phones these days, portrait mode, plain wall, get it done.
Take a quick one. And you know what? With this pandemic, we all may need to update our headshots.
I know.
I have definitely done my pandemic 15.
Me too. Or 19 or 30.
Or 20. Whatever.
Jessica, you always inspire me with your workouts, and I'm trying to keep up with you on my Peloton rides, but Girl, not happening this month.
That's okay. I love to see it. I'm going to try and work out for the both of us. I have to see my trainer tomorrow morning.
Get it, girl. There you go. So this has been so fun. So we have given you some main elements to build your resume, just like you'd spark up and ignite a campfire. And
which neither of us knew how to do.
Yeah. We'll have to go camp for a night when I come out to California.
We're gonna have to
be hilarious. Maybe there's like a glamping place. I'm all about glamping. I would
be down for that. I would glamp.
Yeah. So tomorrow at 11 o'clock is the 5 LinkedIn direct messages that get recruiter responses. And y'all, I have to tell you, my creative flow has been coming out for these DMs. So you're going to probably get a little more than 5 because I totally believe in short, concise, and a little bit of heart and humor. So there might be a couple jokes in there. There might be some good templates to really help you structure these conversations, because there is nothing worse than getting a DM that says, "Hey, DM. I see you're a recruiter. Here's my resume. Let me know if you have a good match." And it puts all the work on the recruiter. And if you don't give me something, some kind of, bait, right, to click into the resume to make it easy for me to say, okay, I'm going to take a couple of minutes of my time to review this resume, you have to set the stage. And so that is what this free coaching session is about tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern, to really help people level up and have more efficient conversations and have these in their toolkit that they can use as they go out to build meaningful relationships. So I'm super excited about that.
Y'all better
register. Get in there. Exactly. And if anyone wants the link to attend tomorrow, just message me. I need the link and I will send it to you tonight. And we have the actual Job Search Accelerator Camp live series on Wednesday the 14th from 10 a.m. to 4:30. And you guys, when you leave this container, you are not only going to have Career BFF confidence, you're going to have a whole community of super cool, awesome people that are in this summer camp. You are going to have a roadmap and a solidified personal brand. You're going to have access to 6 Canva templates that you can customize to build out your cover image. I'm going to give you pre-homework that's going to help you build your headline. I'm going to give you templates on how to structure your about section. We're going to do group activities where we go out on the platform and do scavenger hunts. And I'm going to really get you into that engagement mode. And it is going to be so much fun. You're going to leave with a fully optimized profile, a leveled up knowledge of how to network, and you're going to be positioned for total success.
Yes,
on an adventure like Jessica. So DM me if you want the link for tomorrow. Check out my profile for the JSA camp. And Jessica, you are such an amazing career BFF. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. And I just can't wait to come out and meet you in real life in the next couple weeks. So everybody, tell Jessica thank you. Definitely connect with her. And if you have any questions for either of us, send us a message. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. All right?
Yes. Bye,
Take
everybody.
Care.
Bye, summer campers.
See ya.